So the pasuk says, "Was this a bracha Torah tzivah Moishe?" How's the Torah described as a merosh, an inheritance? So how do we reconcile that inheritance you get, as he explains, effortlessly, and moreover, the testator cannot change it? The Torah says that a firstborn inherits. There's all the laws of Yerusha. The owner of the estate cannot change that. He can gift it away, but he cannot say that, for example, this son, another son, a second child will inherit a double portion instead of the firstborn. His words are meaningless because you cannot make conditions that undermine or change Torah law. So the whole point of Yerusha is it's both ways, effortless. The giver and the receiver. It happens naturally. There's no choice in the matter. You have a child, he inherits. So that contradicts the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos that says, prepare yourself to learn, fix yourself, toil in Torah, because it is not a Yerusha. A clear contradiction. She'ein Yerusha lach, it's a Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, Perek Beis, the 12th Mishnah. It's not an inheritance. How do you reconcile that? Additionally, we find what? The Torah is also called a matana, a gift. Now, that's neither of the two. A matana, of course, is the prerogative of the giver. Mind you, the receiver also, to a degree, can refuse a gift. But it's not earned. Matana is not earned, even though, as he added in brackets, a person doesn't give gifts. The Gemara says a person doesn't give a gift randomly to people. That's tzedakah. A gift, or even that's not random, the person deserves it because he's poor. A person gives a gift because the recipient has caused him some nacha, some pleasure, something. So that's neither Yerusha nor haskin atzmach. Haskin atzmach, prepare yourself and toil in Torah, which is the message of Pirkei Avos. So we're left with the three levels, and in some ways they contradict. Yerusha contradicts the other two. And we need to reconcile what are these, what exactly, we need to understand what these levels in Torah are. So that's what we're up to. Yeah, base. Understand this by prefacing the three ways that Hashem conducts himself vis-a-vis us. And they are Yerusha, that's the pasuk in V'zis HaBracha, Haskin Atzmacha, that's the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, and Matana as expressed in Birchas HaTorah, Noisen HaTorah. And in Medrash and in Gemara, it's described as a gift. So what are these three? I'm sorry, the Torah is described as a gift. So there's three, a parallel is three ways which Hashem relates to us. As explains in the Maamor of the Fitik Rebbe, this is exactly 20 years earlier. Maamor, which itself, they're telling us in footnote 8, is based on the Maamor of the Rebbe Rashab, which in part is based on the Maamor of the Tzemach Tzedek, Eira Torah. There is a relationship that Hashem has with us that is in a way of Nesiyas Chen, which literally means lifting or finding favor. Or for example, we just read V'noyach, these very words, Motza Chen Bein Hashem. So Noach found favor. Now, finding favor means that God is acting graciously. Chen means graciously. So that means that is an arousal from above, a revelation of godliness that God gives that hasn't been elicited. It's an act of grace. Noach found grace in the eyes of God. Without avodah. This is similar to Ingan Yerusha, the concept of inheritance, for which there is no preparation required at all, and it's irrelevant. That's one anhaga. Let's remember, it's called in the Siyas Chen, finding favor, or simply divine grace would be a more accurate way to describe it. There's avodah which is proportionate and corresponds to the avodah of the person. Through his arousal from below, his avodah, so there's an arousal from above. That's the Mishnah Pirkei Yobes. Mishnah says, fix yourself. Or like the Shalom elaborates in explaining the difference with Noach and Avraham. Noach found favor. Now, true, he was a good guy, but the emphasis here is God's grace for saving him. That's from above to below. But Avram, it says, next week's parsha, he walked before him. I walked before him, but he's speaking. What's walking? Going. It's a journey that Avram was on, from below to above. Says the Shalosh, this is a much greater virtue than Noach, who was a nice guy, but Avram worked on himself. Noach was charming, but Avram was avodah. So the ultimate virtue of avodah is where God relates to us, which is proportionate and it corresponds to the avodah, our avodah. Through the awakening from below, God responds to the awakening from above, as it were. This is expressed that Hashem says to Moishe Rabbeinu, Parshas Kisisa, the whole divine revelation there. My face will go before you, and I will. So look that up. Get this. Look it up over there. The exact translation. What do they say there? In the. I think it's a lead also. I'll lead you. Yeah. My face will go before you, as it were, and I will lead you. Yeah. The emphasis here is the pnimius, the face, as it were. And it's a consequence, and it comes as a result of the avodah of Yidden from their pnimius. Yeah, I'll lead you. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, no. Hanoches, put down, lead, place.
Presence will go.
Huh?
My presence will go and lead you.
Will?
will go and lead you.
Lead you, yeah, okay. Okay, weiter in the Maamor. So this comes, that's the Pnimius of Alikos. It comes a result of the Pnimius of Yidden, the context there is the law, but the story of Rus, the laws of Yibum. How do you say it in English? Yibum is there's a word for it.
Levirate. Levirate marriage.
Something like that. But the remes, the allusion here is v'zois lefonim b'yisrael by Yidden it aveda pnimius. The connection to that story, there's another subject. So the pnim is that's by Yidden. Hainu pnim is the Yisrael. The pnimius of Yidden that elicits the pnimius of the Eibishter. Shemitzad zavedos and ba'ofen the bakshu panai. Therefore, their avodah is in a way that they seek Hashem's pnimius. The pnimius of a Yid seeks the pnimius of the Eibishter. There's a nasis gaman hogimel Hashem responds in kind, but if into panayelechu, my pnimius will lead you, will be present with you. Kedalakamon, as we'll explain later in the Maamor. They said, he just described that as tachlis ha'ilui, perfect virtue in the way that the Eibishter conducts himself. But now he's saying there's even a higher avodah. For which Moshe Rabbeinu requested, even after God assured him that by face I will go before you, he had another request still. The pasuk this says, Im ein panecha ilchim. And if your face does not go with us, al talenu mizeh, do not forsake us. Bama yudea ephon. And how will I know indeed that I found grace before you, I and your people? When you will go with us, when you will set us apart from all the nations of the world. So what is this? This is even a loftier level. Meaning the distance between, as it were, Yidden and the Eibishter, in other words, a level that we cannot reach ourselves. Moishe Rabbeinu was asking, there should be the union of the Siyas Chen. Be gracious to us. That's what he says. How will I know that under every circumstance that Yidden will be, that I found favor in your eyes and you will not abandon us? So here he's invoking Mitzvah of Chen. In order, the distance is so great in terms of our worthiness, as it were, and moreover, the level that Yidden are connecting to, that this cannot be elicited through midah connected midah, measure for measure, Pnimius versus Pnimius, but this is deeper still. Nisiyas Chen, this is a matter of divine Chen, grace. That's the level of Matonda. Kidu, as is known, Shechen v'chanino, Matonda minyan echad. Chen, grace, charm, and Matonda is one thing. Ella. So before we were saying, we would refer this to Noach, who was lower than Avraham. Now we're saying it's the highest level, high even in Pnimius. So he explains, Ella she'ein zal derech hanasiyas chen de Noach. The grace that Noach got was ba'efin shalitz was delayed shalifnei avodah. He got that without avodah. Again, he was a nice person, but there was no avodah. Even though that's a great virtue to that, because it all starts from above and it's not based on our measured on our avodah, which means still it's a very lofty place. What's the deficiency? This is a level that doesn't come through avodah v'yigia, through effort and toil. So what's wrong with that? If you don't toil, then you don't become a proper vessel to the revelation. It only affects you superficially and temporarily. But if there's avodah, it's permanent and lasting. Hello, so what are we speaking about here? Moishe Rabbeinu's request. Noach's chein was pre-avodah. Then there's the avodah of avodah pnimius, which elicits pana yelechu. That's the second level. Now a third level, which Moishe Rabbeinu requested. Ella, what is it? I said, it's a very lofty revelation. True. That our avodah cannot reach. It's completely beyond the ken of our avodah. But still, unlike Noach, this only comes only comes after the person has his avodah to the perfection that he's able to. Then he gets an inyan that's far beyond his avodah, beyond even the pnimius, which he has given. So after the Nesusa de Latata, there's this new revelation that as a Nimshach Hamokim Gevoya, that is a level of matana. So in summary, it's like this. Noach's avodah is Noach's revelations pre-avodah. Nesusa de Leila. Then there's a connection to Hashem that happens commensurate to our avodah. That's the pana yelecho that Hashem told Moishe Rabbeinu he would grant. Moishe Rabbeinu they went on to ask for, and successfully, even a greater revelation of chein. But this is a level of chein, it's Terusa de Le'ela, that comes after avodah. So there's the chein before avodah, and then there's the chein after avodah. Clear? 3 levels. Sarusa de Le'ela at the outset. Then it's Sarusa de Le'tata, an awakening from below, that immediately elicits a corresponding divine response, the pnimis of the Ishta Pana Yalechu. But that then leads to, that's Moshe Rabbeinu's request, to yet a third revelation that's far beyond where avodah can reach, but it only comes after avodah. And that's matana. So you see, to find matana, matana is the third level. L'chayda Yerush is the first level. No, Yerush is what Noach got. It's unearned. Prepare yourself. Haskin atzmacha. She'ena Yerushalach. Invest, toil yegia. That is the second level. Pana yelecha. L'chayda. And the third level, which Moshe Rabbeinu requested, that's matana, the highest level. Yeah? So it seems that's the pshat. Okay, let's go further. We're learning together because I didn't learn it yesterday. So we're going to zero in on the second middle level, which is Avodah Avraham, Pnimius, which elicits Hashem's Pnimius. What's Hashem's face? Koi, my face. Koi al Malchus Datzilus. Malchus Datzilus is Hashem's face. Pnimius of Alikus. I mean, relative to Biyah, to Ishtalshalus. In addition to the fact In general, Atzilus reflects the Pnimius of Alikus. The word Atzilus, tell me, what does it mean? Anybody?
Emanation, literally.
It's one meaning. Emanation, Laha Atzil, Hashem, we find it in Torah, Pashas Ba'aloischa. The Eibishter bestowed from Moshe's light onto the Shivim Skenim. The word is Atzilus. Man of bestow. That implies separation, going from here to there. It has another pirush. Eitzel, near, close. They're almost opposite pirushim, because on the one hand, it's a world. There's 10 spheres. There's the definition. But it's near and close and bound up with the Ein Sof. In a word, Atzilus is the Eibishter's decision to express himself in 10 spheres. So it's pure likus. Yesterday's Hayom Yom. Remember the Hayom Yom yesterday? The Alter Rebbe could not, was it write or say?
Right.
He used to write Aleph Tzadik Yud, stroke, and I think in saying it even Mikolshkein, and used to yeah. So just why do you think we're getting that Hayom Yom? It's a very nice about the Alter Rebbe. Why is it? Why is the Rebbe choose to include this as an instruction for us?
Learn Chassidus, we should know at least what someone who actually gets Atzilus, what the impact is.
Yeah, that's number one, certainly, to learn a little more sensitivity, not just the words roll off our tongue. So Atzilos is Pchinas Ponim, is the Pnimius. Again, I'm just addressing on the one hand, there's definition there, there's 10 spheres, but not lost, as it were, in Atzilus is what are these 10 attributes? It's the Almighty decided to express himself this way.
Sorry, he couldn't say Atzilus. He would say Oibin. He couldn't say Atzilus.
What?
He couldn't say the word Atzilus. He would say Oibin.
Oibin, yeah, he would say Oibin in the Maamor. Whereas in Biyah, the 10 spheres start to emerge as virtues. As virtues. Independent, relatively speaking, of the Eibishter. They're virtuous qualities. Chochmah, bin das, they're wonderful, beautiful attributes. But in Atzilus, not lost in Atzilus, is what's the whole mile of these attributes? This is how God has chosen to reveal himself. That's its beauty. It's you. It's an entirely different perception of what the Esespheres are in Atzilus as opposed to Biyah. I once gave a moshel for this, for the 4 Eilemes. I don't know how accurate it is because it's my moshel, but I'll share it with you again. Remember, there's 4 people looking at the same painting. Same painting, 4 people looking at it. The first person marvels at the paint, the texture, the canvas. He's looking at the oils that's used, the watercolor. That's the first person. Second person looking at the same painting is moved by it emotionally. Much deeper appreciation of the mood, of the scene itself that the picture paints. The first person is like technical. He's marveling at the physicality, literally, of it. Second, the scene that it paints. The third, when he looks at the picture, he's thinking of the talent of the artist. And the fourth, the talent. Tzelem Abriya, Ganei the alien. And the fourth looks at it and just sees the artist and everything. He's conscious he's seeing artist. He's seeing artists. The one below him is seeing talent, intellectual talent, emotional talent. And the fourth one is seeing also talent expressed in the physicality of it. But it's only the fourth one that looks at the painting and sees the artist in the painting. That's Atzilus. It's the same 10 spheres, but how they perceived. Atzilus, Bri, Etzirasiyah. It could be Meirich in the Moshel, but you get the idea. Anyway, Kiyadua, Shadalad Madregis Panim, Yimin Usmail Vachet. All things have 4 dimensions. There's the Pnimius, there's left, or there's the front, Panim, front, the front. You mean right, smile, left, and the rear. So these 4 dimensions of all things, they reflect the 4 elements of Atzilus, B'ritziya, Asiyah. All to say, Atzilus is what? Is Panim, facing the front, Pnimius. And therefore, Malchus, Atzilus, B'mela Gam B'chinas Malchus. And therefore, also Malchus, not with it's the last level, but the last level of Atzilus. This is God talking. Malchus B'chalal is Hashem communicating. Malchus Peh, Kodin Allah. The Eibush talking. So Malchus is still part of what? Of Hashem, the divine face. Malchus D'Atzilus, Mekabeles, Gam B'kol Ha'esas Sfiris D'Atzilus. So Malchus Atzilus receives from all of the 10 Sfiris of Atzilus. She reflects that. Because on the face is expressed all of the emotions, the intellect, etc. of a person. Where do you see that? You can actually see, look in someone's eyes, intelligence or not, so on. Kedisa Bezel, the Zohar says, Pnei alien. I have to look this up. It could mean, I don't think it means trees, but Itri Malka decorate, surround the king. Tanoima also referred to this way. Don't look up the Zohar there. Sheima Eses Svirid Atzilas, these 10 properties at any rate that are called Ponim. So they are the 10 spheres of Atzilus. So that's Malchus Atzilus. Furthermore, where is the primary in expression of the Pnimius, the Ikar Pnimius, which is higher than being invested in worlds altogether. Keser of Atzilus, which is utterly transcendent. Malchus, the lowest sphere, as it were, of the 10 spheres, has a direct connection to Keser on a simple level. Keser Malchus. The king's crown, as it were, the Keser finds expression where? In Malchus. Okay, so this is a sugi, a very long sugi in Chassidus. And Malchus, as we've had many occasions to encounter, is the most enigmatic of all of the 10 spheres. On the one hand, it's no particular property. On the other hand, the very word Malchus implies aloofness and sovereignty, the dignity of being, the inherent value of each person as a sovereign, which means, what does sovereign mean? Anybody? Sovereign right, sovereign value.
Independent.
What?
Independent.
With inherent value.
Inherent. Nothing can challenge it. Nothing can take it away. Nothing can erode it. Independently, essentially valuable. Not because of something else that grants it validity. It's inherently valid. So Malchus, the last of the 10 spheres, expresses the keser. What's keser? The keser is in atzmi, the I am of God. The I am of God. That's the sovereign value. And that's expressed dafka in the governance of the king, in the way he relates to the people. There you find expression of his unique, essential being. Not so much the way he behaves in the palace internally, but the way he governs the people, as you see, quite literally. Where's the splendor of the king as the sovereign of the country expressed? It's dafka in interaction with the people, in governance, not in the internal workings of the palace. It's when he addresses the people, that's when he's dressed in his entire, as a king with a crown on his head. Doesn't wear the crown on his head all the time. It's in public he wears the crown on his head. In his public interaction, in governance, Malchus is governance, that's where the keser, the sovereignty of the king, is expressed. Yeah. Okay, let's come next line. No, we'll see this tomorrow. Okay, what did he just say now? So we've identified already, Bemes, that we identified the 3 levels of Milabata Lamaila, Yerusha, that's just Yerusha de Leila, that comes with the Avodah that Noach received. Then there's the Avodah of Haskin Atzmacha, the Avodah of Pnimius, that's Al Derech Avram. And then Moishe Rabbeinu's request of Chain that comes, L'achari Avodah, a completely different level. And that's Matana. So in order to understand Matana, first is explaining the Avodah of Pnimius. And when we explained that Bechlal Atzilus is the Pnimius of Elikus, but within Atzilus itself, the Panam, the face of the Eibishter, as it were, is Malchus Atzilus, which is rooted, we just explained, in Keser. Okay, to be elaborated by Hashem tomorrow.